Welcome to the John Cady Podcast. I'm John Cady, U.S. Navy retired, former minister. This podcast, I'm going to talk about a very popular website and content service that millions of people log on to every day to see exclusive content from their favorite people, whether it's celebrities, whether it's specifically musicians or actors or actresses, athletes, or even people from the seedier side of the entertainment industry. What am I talking about? I am talking about none other than OnlyFans. That's right, OnlyFans. OnlyFans has been around since 2016, so it hasn't been around that long, but it's been around long enough. And the question that one would have to ask, and I'm not going to a moral debate about OnlyFans. I am not going to talk about whether it's corrupting the minds of people, but I am speaking specifically and only on the business aspect of it. In particular, finance. Is spending money to view content on OnlyFans a good use of one's cash? Or is OnlyFans a ripoff? Back in the old days when they had burlesque shows and peep shows and stuff, you would have the beautiful woman behind the curtain or behind the glass. You paid a certain amount of money, that window or curtain would open, you'd get to see her. If you wanted to see more of her, after the curtain closed, you had to put more money in, and more money in. Next thing you know, you end up broke. But you walked away finally getting to see what you wanted to see. In 1983, the Tubes, in their music video for She's a Beauty, touched on this, especially with lines like, "It'll cost you $1 first," and "Don't touch the merchandise," and so on and so on. They were drawing from those experiences in history of these burlesque shows. OnlyFans, from my own experience, is none other than just an online version of those type of burlesque shows. How so? Not too long ago, I received a DM on X by one of these content creators. The content creators will spam you. There's just no getting around that. I don't care if you talk to them or not, you're going to get spammed with it. But finally, one in particular, I'm like, okay, I'm curious. I want to see what's going on here. So what did I do? I clicked on the link, went to OnlyFans. They had a 30-day trial offer for this particular content creator, and I'm going to touch on that here in a little bit. For $3.99, I could get a trial of up to 30 days. It wasn't free. I almost made a mistake there. But for $3.99, I was able to have a 30-day trial, and then after that, it would go up to $9.99 per month if I wanted to continue. I was very surprised. I discovered that, yes, the content I saw was to my liking. But even after engaging in some direct messaging with this content creator, I discovered that if I wanted to see more, I was going to have to put more money down. This sounds just like what the Tubes sang about over 40 years ago. Things haven't changed, just the avenue by which they're being done has changed. And after a couple of those DMs, I'm like, that sounds real nice. I appreciate you wanting to show me more, but I'm not willing to part with any more of my cash. I just wanted to see what it was like. Now that I know what I'm getting myself into, I want nothing more to do with this. I canceled my subscription and walked away. Most people won't do that. They'll just keep putting more money in and more money in. It's almost like, being addicted to gambling or being addicted to just about anything that you got to put money in. And you got to put more money in. Then you find out, man, where did all my cash go? You sank it all on this content creator who's probably making a nice, comfy living off of all that money everybody else is sinking in. And she's just laughing her way to the bank because she's got no interest in dating you whatsoever. This also reminds me of those days when I was in the Navy. Young sailors would go to these clubs and they'd come back and they were smitten by this beautiful dancer up there on stage and they'd be like, "I'm in love. She's beautiful." And we're all looking at this guy like, she does and says that to all the guys in there. And it's not because she likes you, it's because she knows you're going to put some money her way. Speaking of money, a few minutes ago I mentioned about how OnlyFans offered that trial, but it was just for that specific content creator. It is not a blanket across the board. In other words, if you want to see content from somebody else, you have to subscribe to that person. It's just like what they don't tell you about cutting the cord and going to all these streaming services. You've got to be careful about this, because if you're not, if a guy is now spending $10 a month on 20 different content creators, that's a lot of money being thrown away every month, folks. Quit flushing your money down the toilet. There are better ways to spend your time and your money. Now, if you've got the cash and you can afford to do that, hey, knock yourself out. But a lot of us out there aren't able to do that. I just did it to see what the service looked like, and I didn't like what I saw. A lot of guys, though, view it differently, and they keep subscribing. They keep putting money in, and they keep lining the coffers of not just the content creators, but more importantly, the people who actually run OnlyFans. OnlyFans takes about 20% of each content creator's profits, skim right off the top. So you're lining those people's pockets there at OnlyFans, and it's not even money going to a business here in America. When we hear people talk about America first, investing in American companies, American businesses, guess what, folks? Guess what? OnlyFans is not an American-owned company. It's not even based in the United States. OnlyFans is based in the United Kingdom. That's right. All that money that you're putting in OnlyFans is leaving the U.S. and lining the pockets of somebody over in Great Britain. If that's what you want to do, I'm not going to stop you. I'm not here to say yes or no. I'm just here to put the information out there, and then the listener can decide what they want to do with the information. So, do I think OnlyFans is a good investment of one's time and money? Not really. It just isn't. Because they make it so you have to spend a lot of money just to see a small amount of content. That's not a good value. That would be like comparing one burger place that offers large half-pound burgers for $8 a patty, and then going to another restaurant and they offer a smaller burger for $10. So what are you going to take? Are you going to go with the bigger and better value, or are you just going to go and spend more money and get less product? Well, with OnlyFans, again, this is just my opinion, you're spending more money and getting less product, less content. So there you go. I've put the information out there, and the listener may do whatever the listener wants to do with this information. This is John Cady. Thank you for listening. If you enjoy these podcasts, hit the like, hit subscribe, and I'm going to catch you on the next one.